Welcome to episode 166 of Build Your House Yourself University by BYHYU. I'm your host and fellow student, Michelle Nelson, and together we'll learn the basics of home design and construction and demystify the building process so we can ask the right questions and build quality dream homes with or without a general contractor. Last week, we talked extensively about water softeners and conditioners. Water softeners and conditioners help to alleviate many hard water problems, including limescale buildup in our plumbing. But water softeners and conditioners are ineffective in removing chemicals and contaminants that can cause less healthy, bad-tasting, and foul-smelling water. For those issues, you'll need a water filtration system. Although city and county water systems typically do a good job of removing harmful quantities of contaminants from tap water, they leave behind small amounts of substances that most of us would rather not drink. Some tap water contains the residue of treated sewage, industrial waste, agricultural chemicals, pharmaceuticals, toxic metals like arsenic and mercury, plus fluoride, disinfectants, and storm runoff. Other contaminants that might be found in tap water, or especially well water, include illness-causing bacteria, viruses, and parasites, plus pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, as well as volatile organic chemicals, or VOCs. In this week's mini lesson, we'll get into the different types of water filtration systems and what sort of certifications we should be looking for before we buy one. Before we get into the lesson, I gotta thank Architect's Guide, who used to work as an architect. Thanks for listening to almost every episode and for taking the time to write us an Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review. Leaving a positive review really does help the show because it encourages others to listen. So thanks for doing that. Okay, ready for our water filtration mini lesson? According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, quote, drinking water can reasonably be expected to contain at least small amounts of some contaminants. As long as those contaminants are at levels no higher than EPA standards, the water is considered safe to drink for healthy people. People with severely weakened immune systems or other specific health conditions, or those concerned about specific contaminants present in local drinking water, may wish to further treat their water with a water filter. End quote. That quote and most of the information in this week's mini lesson come from the EPA. I wanted to get info from an unbiased source that wasn't selling water filters. The EPA sets national standards for the city and county tap water, but it doesn't endorse specific water filtration units. Different types of units remove different contaminants or classes of contaminants. Sophisticated units may use multiple technologies to remove several types of contaminants and to provide backup protection in case one treatment method fails. The Water Quality Association says that more than 4 out of 10 Americans use a home water treatment unit. These units range from simple water pitcher filters costing less than $20 to whole house filtration systems costing thousands of dollars. To determine what needs to be filtered out of your water, contact your local water supplier and ask for the annual water quality report, sometimes called the Consumer Confidence Report. This report lists the levels of contaminants that have been detected in the water and shows how these levels compare with EPA's drinking water standards. If your water comes from a household well, EPA recommends annual water testing, especially for nitrates and bacteria. Water filters come in 2 main varieties, point of use and point of entry. Let's first talk about point of use units. Point of use units only filter water at a specific point or place, a place where the water will be consumed. Point of use units include filtering water pitchers and filters that are attached to specific faucets, usually a kitchen faucet. Faucet filters are housed either under the sink or they can be attached to the faucet itself. Most filtering water pitchers use granular activated carbon and resins to bind with and trap contaminants. These filters are most effective at improving the taste of water, but many will also reduce lead and other contaminants. These carbon filters are composed of a screen with many tiny microscopic pores. Specific contaminants removed depend on the pore size and other factors. The smaller the holes, the more contaminants the filter can remove. Filter holes are measured in microns. When considering filter size, look for an absolute rating, not a nominal rating. Absolute rating refers to the largest hole, and nominal refers to the average hole. Remember, we're looking for the absolute rating. Think of it as the absolute best. The EPA and CDC recommend an absolute 1 micron filter, meaning the largest hole is very small, measuring no more than 1 micron. You might also look for a filter that's labeled for bacterial cyst removal. Filters that are associated with a faucet generally use the same carbon technology that their pitcher filter counterparts do. But some of these filter faucets use fabrics, fiber, or ceramic screening to physically remove contaminants. Faucet filters and water pitcher filters must be replaced on a regular basis. If the water in your area is relatively pure, a budget-friendly water pitcher or faucet-associated filter can work well for your house. But an activated carbon filter by itself is not designed to remove all disease-causing organisms, nitrates, pesticides, or heavy metals. For that, you'll need a reverse osmosis system. Reverse osmosis filtration produces chemically pure water with virtually every possible contaminant removed. In a reverse osmosis system, or RO system, water is forced across a semi-permeable membrane, leaving contaminants behind that are flushed down the drain. The clean drinking water collects in a holding tank. These units are effective in eliminating almost every disease-causing organism and most chemical contaminants, including those that make water taste and smell funny. RO systems also remove minerals, including minerals that cause hard water scale. So a reverse osmosis system acts as a water softener too. Sounds perfect, right? But nothing is perfect. There are some disadvantages to reverse osmosis units. They're very expensive. They're slow in producing filtered water, and they take out valuable minerals, which can make your water more nutritious and tastier. RO units also require a lot of space, and they are notorious for wasting water. A lot of water. For some reverse osmosis units, 3 to 5 gallons of wastewater goes down the drain for every gallon of filtered water produced. Fortunately, a few newer models have come out that are more efficient and waste less water, but most units are still pretty inefficient. Next on our point of use filter list is mixed media filtration systems. Mixed media filtration systems purify water through multiple stages and methods, usually including sediment filtration to filter out fine sand, dirt, and other particles. Sedimentation filtration is particularly helpful if you have well water. Mixed media filtration systems might also use ultraviolet light to kill microorganisms, and these filters might perform deionization. Deionization produces deionized water, also known as demineralized water, that has all its mineral ions removed, including sodium, iron, calcium, copper, chloride, and sulfate. Deionization is like water softening on steroids. In addition to all these filtering methods, a mixed media filter might also use carbon filters. Mixed media filtration systems give you the best of all worlds, but these units are expensive. If you decide on a mixed media filtration system, make sure the unit includes filtration for the contaminants most prevalent in your area. Finally, there are distillers. Distillers are point-of-use filters that heat water to the boiling point, then collect the water vapor as it condenses. This process eliminates unhealthy substances, such as organic and inorganic chemicals, as well as heavy metals. Like reverse osmosis units, distillers kill all bacteria and pathogens that make people sick. But distillers filter water very slowly, so it's not a good choice for larger families. And distilled water may taste flat to some people because the water's natural minerals and dissolved oxygen have been removed. So, that was point-of-use devices. Remember, they include carbon filters, reverse osmosis filters, mixed media filters, and distillers. Although point-of-use filters are a great economical choice, keep in mind these filters purify water only for drinking or cooking, not for bathing or dishwashers. To get pure water for all the water in the house, you'll need a point-of-entry filtration system. Point-of-entry units are also called inline filters or whole house filtration systems, and they're the most comprehensive water filtration systems on the market. Whole house filtration systems remove contaminants from your water through a filter connected to the home's main water line. Whole house point-of-entry systems are installed where the water system enters the home. Whole house point-of-entry systems are installed where the water supply enters the home. So all faucets in the home, plus the water heater and plumbed appliances, receive filtered water. This will enable you to bathe and shower in clean filtered water. In addition, your dishwasher and ice maker will receive filtered water. Many of the filtering methods used in point-of-use filters are also used in whole house point-of-entry filters. Carbon filters, for example, can be used as whole house filters too. Carbon, or some other adsorptive material, traps liquid and solid contaminants. Those contaminants adhere to the surface of or in the pores of the carbon. These are basic entry-level whole house water systems utilizing a single type of filtration media. They're effective in removing chlorine and chlorine byproducts, and as a result, they eliminate the bad taste and odor that your tap water might have. Although some absorptive filter materials last longer than others, all of them will lose their effectiveness over time and must be replaced periodically. And like point-of-use carbon filters, these whole house carbon units are good for removing chlorine, but ineffective in removing many other chemicals and heavy metals. To remove more contaminants, you can choose whole house mixed media filtration systems or whole house reverse osmosis systems. They work like their point-of-use counterpart, but these whole house filters filter water for the entire home. Whole house point-of-entry reverse osmosis filtration systems are fairly uncommon since they're very expensive and typically waste much more water than other systems. If you have your heart set on a RO system, it's more efficient and sustainable to choose a point-of-use system that you can attach to a specific faucet. Or for filtering out multiple contaminants in the whole house, consider a mixed media filtration system instead of a whole house RO system. When comparing whole house systems, look for a flow rate of at least 15 gallons per minute. That sounds super fast, but remember, this system is for the entire house, so it needs to be much faster than a single faucet system. You should also find out how often whole house filters need to be replaced and how much that will cost. Regular upkeep is the key to making these systems function the way they're supposed to. So if you're not committed to regularly changing the filter yourself, sign up for a service agreement. Finally, let's briefly go over certification. Whatever point of use or point of entry water filtration unit you choose, It should be certified by at least one of the following 3 organizations. These organizations ensure that units do what they claim to do. You heard about 2 of these organizations last week. The names of the certifying organizations are, number 1, the National Sanitation Foundation, NSF International. Number 2, the Water Quality Association, or WQA. And number 3, Underwriters Laboratories. Before we finish up, let's go over a couple of quiz questions to review some of our key points. Question number 1, true or false? Reverse osmosis water filters also work as water softeners since they remove minerals, including calcium and magnesium, which cause hard water limescale. That is true. Reverse osmosis systems remove almost everything from the water, including virtually every contaminant, including microorganisms, metals, chlorine, and other chemicals. Plus, they remove minerals. And question number 2, true or false? All quality filters remove all contaminants. That statement is false. Different types of units remove different contaminants or classes of contaminants. Sophisticated units may use multiple technologies to remove several types of contaminants and to provide backup protection in case one treatment method fails. So, determine what contaminants are found in your area before deciding on what type of filter to buy. Contact your local water supplier and ask for the annual Water Quality Report, also called the Consumer Confidence Report. This report lists the types and levels of contaminants that have been detected in your area's water. And always buy a water filter that's been certified by number 1, the National Sanitation Foundation International, number 2, the Water Quality Association, and or number 3, Underwriters Laboratories. Well, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you learned as much as I did, and I hope you'll join me again next time for the next episode of Build Your House Yourself University. BYHYU. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete, it's subject to change, and it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home.